New data in on what could be a couple of tropical threats. Hi, everybody. I'm Chief Meteorologist Chris Justice. Thank you for being here. I'm going to cover in this video what the new GFS is showing, as well as the European. Both continue to show a hurricane forming in the next 10 days. But we've got to look closer to the Carolina coast over the next 3 days for something that could move in, could get a name out of that one. But the more formidable threat, the stronger threat, the models are showing a signal for a possible strong hurricane deeper into the Atlantic. And this bears watching very closely here, as especially the GFS model has been hinting at the southeast coast as we go throughout the next 10 days for what could be a strong hurricane. And for that matter, the European, the Canadian, the Icon all show similar facets. They just don't really agree on where something is going to be heading. Thank you all for being here. If you're new to this channel, my whole deal, whether I'm on TV or online here, is to give you a transparent look at the forecast. Please like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications. My goal is to prepare you, not to scare you. I'm not going to hype anything, but I'm going to level with you. When it's time to be concerned, it's time to be concerned, and that is not right now. Right now, it is kind of surveillance mode. Right now, we're watching. We're out looking at what's going on, and we're basically staying tuned to what could be coming in because we know that the models have been hinting at that. Let me start with a broad look at what's going on. We've got a 40% chance, a medium risk of a named tropical system here off the southeast coast. Right now, the models have been hugging the coast with this system, then kicking it out, very similar to what Dexter did, maybe just a little bit closer. Then there's this out here. You've got one wave that may move out here in the middle of the Atlantic and not do very much. GFS says it will. It's going to curve in like this. So basically, the National Hurricane Center splitting the difference. However, the European shows a little recurve of a weak wave. Then it breaks off another little piece that rides right here toward the islands toward this time next week, and then it develops it here over the Caribbean. Some of the models have tried to hint at some Gulf action as well. So where do we start? We got to pick somewhere here, and let's start with the system that's off the southeast coast. Right now, it's just a mess. It has been a record-breaking cold start to August after a record-breaking July of hot weather. So how about that, flipping things around for the Carolinas and Georgia? Florida, you've just been hot the entire time. So where do we go from here? Well, there's this front that just sits there, and you just can't leave a front, alone for that long a period of time. So moving forward, there's going to be some rain. Some of it's going to be heavy in the Carolinas, but look at this. A little curl up here toward the end of this, Thursday into Friday, those last few frames of it, trying to show up here on our high-resolution data. GFS shows it a little bit better here as we move forward. A little bit of spin right there by Friday. Now, again, this is a little closer than what Dexter was to the Outer Banks, so there could be some enhanced rain, but it's the weaker west side. And even so, this is not a very tight circulation. It's very disorganized. So if we do get a system, it would be a quick little tropical depression or tropical storm. Then it jets away. Watch how the GFS kind of Saturday starts to move this away from the Carolinas. So I don't expect much out of this system. However, we need to stay dialed in. It doesn't matter if it's a name, doesn't matter if it's an actual tropical system or not. Impacts are impacts. And we've had a lot of rain from Charlotte to the upstate of South Carolina today. We had 2.5 to 8 inches. So most areas got 2.5 inches, but 8 inches fell today in Abbeville, Greenwood County, South Carolina, which caused some flooding. We don't need any more rain in this area. So New European, again, showing a little spin right there Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It's beginning to move away. So very Dexter-ish as we move forward here. AI, European, even weaker, moving it out. But it keeps moisture around. And in Florida, you're just going to stay muggy, stay warm. I mean, to be expected this time of the year, right? But even more so. So extra moisture hanging around as we move forward here. GFS shows what the rainfall could be with this future radar. Looks like Thursday, Friday, Outer Banks, Cape Hatteras. Who's watching right now along the Carolina coast? Please drop in the comment section where you're watching from. Again, I'm going to read your comments on this end of this video. So if you have a question for me, leave them in the comments today. I'll get it next video. So yeah, some rain possible here across the Outer Banks, but really doesn't look to be that bad. What's happening here is you got this old frontal boundary, very active southeast. It's just been stormy across a good bit of Florida here. Been hot, been humid. It's been cool, rainy across the western Carolinas. You just can't get out of this cloud cover. Then deeper out, the main development region, as advertised, is getting more organized. And this area is going to need to be watched very closely in the days to come. The Gulf, got some stuff to watch. Lots of moisture hanging around. I think there's a more vulnerable area off the southeast coast. But deeper into the Atlantic, you got a couple of different waves here. Now, which one of these waves decides to become our prime suspect here, if you will? Well, the European has shown today that there's two that we need to watch. The GFS shows one, but it shows a monster. I'm not using dramatic words to be dramatic. I'm just telling you, point blank, GFS is no good. We don't want the GFS. No bueno. Okay, so let's just re-rack the GFS. Let's show you the latest run. Okay, then we'll show you the second to last run. And then we'll look at the ensembles, which is an average of some of the models. And then we'll look at the European, the Canadian, and the German. All right, does that sound good? So those of you watching in the islands right now, I know we're peeled on it for you. I like to say 7 days is a hey, something's coming. All right, 10 days is hey, there's a pattern that favors tropical systems. Same thing with winter forecasting. 10 days out, I can tell you, hey, pattern favors snow. It doesn't favor snow. 7 days, I can tell you, hey, probably going to snow somewhere. I don't know amounts. I don't know exact areas yet when I'm talking snow at that distance, but same thing with tropical weather. There's probably going to be a hurricane, but exactly where? I have an idea, but I don't know exactly, okay? So let's look closer at the GFS model. Again, pay attention to this one wave. It has one. All right, so let's move that forward. And again, we got a little lower pressure here, not much of consequence. But here's our little wave. The little engine that could. It's barely there, folks. I mean, it's a low. So this Thursday and Friday, it's getting a little tighter, a little more compact, and it's riding west. So remember the wording I've told you, and you've heard me say it a lot if you follow this channel for any length of period of time. Weaker goes west. So this storm's weak. It's going west, going west, going west, weak west. So it looks like it would avoid the islands because it's weaker. It kind of just meanders on to the west right there. European's a little stronger, a little farther south. I'll show you that in a moment. All right, so this Bermuda high migrates. Any weaknesses in that Bermuda high can sometimes lead to it curving, but where? Now we got a 999, probably a tropical storm. Now it's starting to lower. Now we're 980s, 970s, 960s. This is a rapidly strengthening system at this point. This would be next Thursday. All right. So about 10 days out, you got something off the southeast coast on the GFS model. All right, so let's migrate this out. Slow mover. This thing's not in a hurry. 962, probably a major hurricane. Cat 3, Cat 4. Very close to the Outer Banks. Very close to the Mid-Atlantic. Do we have a landfall there? I mean, it's possible. I mean, as I'm looking at my other monitors over here, does Connecticut, does New York, does Boston get in on some action here? I mean, for several runs in a row, this GFS model has wanted to hint at an East Coast kind of hugger here. I mean, this would graze New York City at this point, getting up into Maine, Nova Scotia. Then it's gone. You got a little something in the Gulf right there toward the end of the frame. All right, so that's the latest GFS. Let's re-rack that same model, but run it again from the earlier run. This is 2 runs ago, full operational run of the GFS. Little engine that could. You see it? You see it right there? All right, here it goes. Bahamas. Okay. Florida, 980, so Cat 1, Cat 2. Then it's west into Georgia. Western Carolinas are getting some heavy rain while another one's forming out there. It meanders it into the Gulf toward the end of the frame right there. So that's no good either. Let's go 3 runs ago. Scrub through it. You're back to the East Coast. Oof. Big time hurricane hitting North Carolina right there on that solution. So There's 3 runs in a row just because I have it. I'll show it to you. 4 runs back. This is as far back as I can go on this one. Got a Bermuda curve out to sea. So 3 out of the 4 last runs of the GFS show an East Coast threat, not a Gulf threat. Here's just a look closer. And the most recent run, 999, coming in here like that. Let's flip this view, U.S. Let's go east. Here it comes in. Oof. Very close to the Outer Banks. Doesn't quite touch it. Very close to New York. Very, very close to Boston. Then up toward Maine, probably a landfall right there. This looks like the system we had late last year. I mean, whew. All right, let's just re-rack this to the second to last run. That was a Florida impact. Let me scroll down a little bit more. You got that in view? All right. Let's rerun this one. Rewind it. Right there. 986, Cat 1, Cat 2. Very close to Broward County. Jacksonville. Brunswick, Georgia. This would be not this weekend, but next weekend. Really slows it down on this run, and then it migrates it back toward the Gulf. That's odd. All right. Let's look at the wind gust swath with this one, just to show you track. Yowza. He's over the East Coast here. Ugh. Scraping it. Right there would be the GFS. Let's do the same thing on the 12Z run. That's into Florida on the 12Z run. 3 runs ago, right into North Carolina. All right. So just 3 runs ago was that solution. 2 runs ago, that solution. The most latest run, that solution. So 3 out of the last 4 runs somewhere in that area. 1 consolidated wave. Let's look at the European. All right. You know, let's go out tropical basin here. Excuse me, folks. Let me just zoom out. There you go. Give you perspective. All right. So lower pressure, riding west, way up. I mean, that European's almost due north. Just gets caught up around this Bermuda, slingshots around like that. Finds its opening. All right. That's the midday run, only gets out to 144 hours. Let's do the last full run. All right, so you saw that first wave that GFS shows go west. All right, so we still have a wave. European picks it up too, but European says, nope, that one's going to go north-northwest. While a second wave, you see that there? There's 2 waves. That one, the GFS show went west. European breaks off a second wave. There's 2 waves on the European. It takes that first one as a fish storm, no worries. Second one, it takes toward the islands. Lower pressure heading there. Possibly getting into low pressure tropical depression here toward the Caribbean next Thursday, Friday. Now it's a tropical storm in the Caribbean. Getting into the Yucatan Peninsula region as a hurricane, Central America here. 10, 11 days out. Into the Gulf, possibly as a hurricane. Mainly a Mexico threat with the European there. All right, so that's the last full run. Let's go 2 runs back on that European. European's consistently gone west. This is 2 runs ago. So Windward, Leeward Islands, Lesser Antilles, you'd have a tropical storm on your heels in about 10 days. So that's why we need to be dialed in on it, folks. Hey, no, not ringing the alarm bells yet, but telling you, hey, you know, there's something to watch here for you. Going into the Caribbean, Jamaica, Dominican Republic, Haiti, Cuba. Where are you at? I've seen some of you watching right now. Oof. Big time issues for the Cayman Islands right there. 936. So 2 runs of the ago of the European shows a monster of its own kind, like the GFS did. It's just south, all right? But again, it's that second wave. 2 runs ago, the European shows that same run of the GFS not becoming anything, but it's got a second wave that becomes a monster on the European model and goes like that. All right. Let's look in closer. That same model, but the AI Euro, all right? Comes in there. Mountains of Hispaniola. Does it tear it up? Which side of the mountain range? It goes up 10,000 feet. What side of that does the circulation pop out on? The Gulf, I should say the Caribbean or the Atlantic side. Does it go over Cuba? Stronger, stronger, stronger. Now it's in the Keys. So AI Euro has a hurricane over the Keys. All right. Both are possible scenarios. Let's look underneath the hood at the European ensembles. This is the lowest pressure of the 51 different runs. So you're not looking at individual hurricanes here, but different solutions. So it's got a couple of different waves going north, no threat. What's interesting here, not many of the European ensemble runs support that operational run. So you got 51 different varieties of the European here instead of just one. The operational run has more computing power into it, sure. But the ensembles are tweaked 51 different ways and times, okay? Slightly different this, slightly different that. Okay, so what you'd want to see here for an accurate forecast is consistency. Does the European ensemble support the operational run? In this case, they don't. They support more of the GFS. Not many of those European runs are at all down here toward the Windward and Leeward Islands. They're not at all down in the Caribbean. They're more this scenario of an Atlantic kind of threading that needle between the Outer Banks and Bermuda. A lot more of those over here than over here, all right? Same thing, but a cluster of lows right here. You're looking at the same model, but where are each of those 51 different lows or models showing? I mean, I don't see hardly any lows. I mean, there's 4 compared to 10 here. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot more of them in this vicinity right there. I got a better way to look at that, which I'll show you in a moment. AI, same story. This is the AI European ensemble. Yeah. Either way, you got good signals here. That 15th, 16th, 17th time frame. Yeah, there are a couple here, Caribbean Gulf, but there's a lot more of a density here. Oof. I mean, there's a signal here on the European AI of southeast impacts here, 15th, 16th, 17th time frame. You know, we're 10 days out. Again, you know my rule, 10 days out, there's an idea here. Yeah, the pattern favors tropical impacts, okay? Same thing if it was wintertime. Yeah, the pattern favors snow. Is it going to snow? We don't know yet. So same thing with tropical weather. We're just staying dialed in. You got a trip planned? Keep watching. Do you live on the coast? Do you have family? Just keep watching. I mean, there's not really a need to be overly concerned yet, but there is a need to stay in tune. There's a GFS ensembles. Here's the GFS ensembles with each low pressure plotted. What do we got here? Not a whole lot of support from the 28 different runs of the GFS, which is good. Got a couple in here. Let's look at the last full run of the European tracks. Yeah, I mean, like I said, the support for a Caribbean kind of low rider from the European doesn't look to be as solid as something going like this. All right, you see it there. You see that first wave on the European going up like that. Let's flip things over here. There's another good way to look at this, and it's a product here from the tropics. It shows the line with the tracks. Let's see. All right, Got to pull it back up here. Here we go. All right. Flip it back over for you. And there you go. All right, so what you're looking at here is the European tracks. Where do they go? Well, let's find out. You're watching it with me. All right, you got a lot of them to curve up to no man's land in here. And then you got this. Yep, here we go. So you got the one piece of the wave. Remember, the European breaks off a wave, goes up. Then you got the European that broke off another wave that goes west. It's weak, 1004, 1005, 1011. But then you got some 987s. So you got some signals in here toward the end of this model that, yes, something's breaking off here and trying to move toward the west. So, folks, as we unravel this, as we unpack it, there's going to be a lot of drama in the fact that it's this state, and the idea is to not live and die by each model run, but to rather look for a pattern here. The GFS has shown us 3 out of the past 4 runs somewhere on the East Coast. Do we get 4 new runs that come out over the next 24 hours that show the same thing? There's consistency. Consistency will lead to a higher confident forecast. So as we move forward here, if the GFS continues to show some consistency, then maybe the European jumps on board. Then we'll have a forecast that we can kind of hang our hat on and say, all right, now we're 7 days away from what the models are showing as a southeast threat. Then we're ringing the alarm bells a little bit more. Then you'll see a potential tropical cyclone on the National Hurricane Center. So that's when things ramp up. So my idea here and the purpose of this page is to give you early warning. That's what I do. But you have to take that with some responsibility, folks. At the water cooler at work tomorrow, you can't say, just saw on the models that a hurricane's going to hit North Carolina. You saw that, but I didn't say that's what's going to happen. So please be a weather nerd with me, and with that comes a weather nerd code of conduct. Got it? All right. Let's look at what you guys have to say. Thank you all for tuning in, for being here with me as an online family, and that's what you are, because this is a way for me to be able to share what I love as a meteorologist on television. We kind of sometimes are talking to the TV, right? We're talking one way. This gives us an ability here online to be able to interact in a different kind of way than the television can. So let's look at where you're watching from right now in the comment section of this current video. I hope you'll leave me a comment, leave me a message where you're watching from. I love seeing it. We got Lester, North Carolina in the house. Cynthia says, your reports are the best. No fast talking, no vocal fry, easy to understand. Are we going to go through Helene again? Well, Lester, Lester, North Carolina, everybody there, you were certainly in the thick of it as we were watching Helene go through locally. And no, this does not look to be a Helene. I don't know that there will ever be another Helene. I certainly hope not. But thank you for your kind words, and thank you for watching in Lester. Please share with your family and friends, and we'll keep you posted. Richard's watching from Leland, North Carolina, just west of Wilmington. Thank you for watching there. We got St. Augustine in the house. Mr. Chris Justice is a great meteorologist. He has excellent communication skills, sense of humor, very knowledgeable about the environment and tropical weather. Thank you so much for your kind words. East Tennessee. Hi, Melissa. Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Glad I found your channel. Thank you. Tell all your friends and family. That thing near the East Coast better be like those other disturbances during July and just not get named. Yeah, I'm hoping so. I'm hoping it just kind of pulls a Dexter, if anything, and goes away. Keeping an eye on the sky in Orlando, Florida. Thank you for the update. Hurricane monitor is like the beginning of a mystery novel. Fascinating. Watching from Kalamazoo as I will be traveling to South Carolina in August. Thank you so much. Safe travels. Yeah, and we'll keep you posted here. Thanks for watching. I appreciate seeing you on the channel. Bradley from Anderson, working in Maryland till October, ready to be home already. Well, we can't wait to have you back home. Rose, good morning, Chris, from Sarasota here dialed in. Love the way you describe the weather. Rose, thank you so much. We got family in Sarasota. My father-in-law went to Sarasota High School. We love coming down and eating at Yoder's, visiting Moat Marine, one of our favorite things to do every year. John Bryant, thanks, Chris. It's like time to prep the boat in Oriental, North Carolina. East Coast watching right now. Thank you. Tidewater, Virginia, keeping alert for what might be coming. We'll keep you posted. Randy from Walhalla, keep the updates coming. Love them. Franklin, North Carolina. Thank you. East Coast of Florida, first week of September. Ooh, a little far out for us there, but that is the peak of hurricane season. Ronald Parker family from Santa Fe, Texas. We got Green Cove Springs, Florida. Keep the videos coming. You bet. We'll keep you posted. St. Vincent and the Grenadines watching. Hi, Colin. Hi, my name is Lewis. You are by far the best meteorologist. You are a likable character. Thank you so much for your amazing content. Me and my family watch you every night, and we appreciate your effort and knowledge. Never change. Your personality is loved by all your viewers. Oh, you made my day. Thank you so much. That just means the world. Thank you for watching. Keep on watching, all right? The Philippines in the house. Thank you, Scott. Florida. Great reporting from Clearwater. Thank you, Barbara. Jacksonville, Florida. Pacific Northwest. You saved lives, Chris. Oh, Janelle, thank you. Northeast, North Carolina. Thank you from Savannah. We'll be watching this system very closely. You bet. We will. We'll sure keep you posted. Excellent job watching from Trinidad. Many blessings to you and your family. Same to you, Leela. Leela. Thank you for watching down there. Tell your family hello, all right? Thank you for replying to my question. I greatly appreciate it. Bishop, you bet. Homestead, Florida in the house, home of Hurricane Andrew. Thank you for your updates. They are easy to follow. Take care. You bet. Thank you. We got Jacob from Satellite Beach, Florida. We got Grand Haven, Michigan in the house. Got Carl from Northern Arizona. Hot and dry here. No doubt. You're the exact opposite of us. We are cool and rainy here lately. We're supposed to be hot and dry, but it has been in the 60s all week here. Hi, Chris, watching from Port St. Lucie, formerly Rock Hill, South Carolina. Enjoy your forecast of southeast Florida is overdue for a major storm. We don't want one, but we think we're on borrowed time. I hope you get more time. I hope that you continue to be on borrowed time. No doubt about it. Thank you for watching. We got morning from Virginia. Thank you for watching. Clearwater Beach, Florida. Rockledge, Florida. Clearwater across the state. All right. We got Tampa Bay in the house. Orange Park, Florida. Enjoy your reports. I'm your office off to your right shoulder. You have a bulldog. Is that a piggy bank? It is a piggy bank. It reminds me of one I got from a ceramic shop 30 years ago. Yeah, my wife went to the University of Georgia, and that's a prized possession. How many times I've saved that from my boys who are now 10 and 8 from wobbling on the shelf and catching it. I got a 3-year-old daughter who's equally as dangerous around that thing right now. So it's still alive. We're hoping it can live a little longer, right? The Caribbean and Gulf, usually a hot spot for tropical storms and hurricanes. It sure is. We got Belton, South Carolina in the house. Interesting forecast. Just have one question. With really big storms that were mapped and stopped in the Caribbean, why didn't you just carry them through for the next 2 days, showing it slap into Florida? Sometimes we got to watch them. If there's a rogue model that's just crazy, I'm going to kind of stop it right in somewhere. In the beginning of the video I did yesterday, but I did go on to show it later on. So maybe you didn't keep watching it there. The serious prepper. Hope you're doing well. And yeah, thank you for your question. And I'll keep you posted. I'm going to be transparent. I did end up showing the rest of that European model yesterday that hit Broward County. So certainly still a possibility. Got Long Island, New York, and I feel like this year with the Bermuda High being stronger and more of a chance of the East Coast hit this year, I think Long Island has a higher chance of getting drenching from a hurricane. Also, there have been several models and ensembles over the last few days coming closer to the Carolinas and up through New York and Long Island. What do you think? Yes, we got to watch it. I got to watch it closely. GFS has certainly been in that camp of thinking there with you, so we'll keep you posted up toward the Northeast. Good morning. I have a question for you. My husband and I are supposed to be going to Western North Carolina Thursday to Sunday, specifically around Shelby. What do you think of the weather there? I'm okay if it rains, just no flooding. I guess after this year, it makes me nervous. Hey, Shelby's looking good. I'm about 45 minutes to an hour from Shelby. We're looking at 85 degrees and some sunshine this weekend with some spotty storms as of now. So I think you're just fine traveling there. So Shelby's good. Shelby's going to be all right. Possible storms this weekend, though. All right. Dewey Rose, Georgia. When we start posting about winter outlook for this winter, it's not going to be long. Probably end of September, beginning of October. All right, here from South Carolina, Greer, Cape May, New Jersey. Hopefully that thing doesn't hit. Hope not, too. When do you post? I post daily. Sometimes 10 a.m., sometimes 10 p.m. Just depends on the day and the data. Sometimes both. Finally got back from Canada. It was hotter than it was in Clemson. I believe it. Yeah, Clemson's been some of the coolest area in the eastern United States, this first part of August. A lot of dust on the way. Will it impact the storms? I'm afraid it won't. I think the dust arrives after whatever storms are going to have formed. Dust only really helps us when it's present beforehand. It just stops something from forming to begin with. But when something's already kind of bubbling, it doesn't really help much. Holiday, Florida, West Coast. We got Guadalupe in the house. Thank you for watching, Guadalupe. Let's see what else we got. North and South Carolina. The Greater Carolina, both Carolinas are great. Gulf Shores, Alabama. And we got Wilmington, North Carolina in the house. So thank you all for watching right now. And while you're at it and you're still here watching these shout-outs, comment in the comment section right now from where you're watching from. And we will keep you posted as another segment of this update comes down the pipeline your way tomorrow. Hey, as we get closer to this, one thing's for sure, the data will get better, the models will get better, and we'll have a better idea of where this is going. Instead of somewhere on the East Coast, it'll be Southeast, Northeast, Outer Banks. It'll be a more specific threat, and we'll unpack it day by day, and I'll be right here with you. So folks, if you're new to the channel, please like the video, comment in the comment section where you're watching from, subscribe to the channel, and hit that little bell of the notifications to be notified when I post a new video. And when a new video drops, you'll be the first to see it. All right, folks, have a good day. We'll talk soon.